Greetings to everyone. My name is Lau Haiyan and my teammates are Lucas, Chai Hui, and Zach. In this video, we are going to talk about design is one of the most powerful forces in our life. Everything is design. Everything. A quote by one of the famous designer, Paul Rand. A good design is more than just creating a nice looking product or beautiful things. It's about designing things that generates positive experience, feelings to the user whenever they are interacting with it. Design is a huge economic driver in how consumers shop and live their lives today. From driving and following directional traffic to icons that portrays a meaning, the store we shop, your fancy car, the interior decor in your house, and even the clothes we wear. What will happen if we do not have design in our lives? Well, there will be no newspaper, magazine, theme park, yes, even Disney, or even your daily trips to the mall, or the tremendous advancement in tech and internet usage without graphic and web design. Above all of these examples, we have yet to include the other design categories in it. So, could you even imagine it? A world without design? Thus, there's no denying that design has been very important to our daily lives. The thesis statement of this topic is, through good design, it benefits us, influence what we think, and make impact to our daily lives, while we stay unconscious and not giving any thoughts about it whenever we interact with them. Now, I will move on to the benefits of design. Everything has its own design intention, whether it's nicely organized, well considerate, or careless, unthoughtful. While poor design could slow us down or maybe irritating, as the outcome of it are mostly miscommunicated or lack of focus. There are designs that are very successful that we didn't even notice from the very beginning as it blends into our daily life, like using software or application. The success of a software or application is determined through the user's attention, compassion, intention, and civilities towards others. Some of the great examples you might be familiar with are Facebook, Adobe. Designs are found all around us, yet sometimes not very obvious to be seen or noticed by the others. We even interact with them in our daily life while not noticing how much it has benefited us along the way. For examples, the signs and symbols on the street that guide us to our destination or provide us information and warning, the label and the logo on the product that help you provide a distinctive, recognizable fondness to it, even the flag of a country which give an identity to it. This figure one is the graphic signs that we have seen in our daily lives. The graphic signs in an image represent an object, idea, information in a simpler geometric design. Through its design, it was easy to be understandable, to be seen, and understandable since we are visual creatures, so we see the shapes before we even read the text on it. Logos, symbols, signs, icons, and pictograms are part of the graphic designs. So, can you imagine that without these graphic signs, what would our life be? Our life would be very inconvenient since there's no signs to guide us. Incidents would most probably be occurred frequently, especially on the road, since the driver do not have the time to read the instruction on the road, which may cause the accidents to happen. Without the logo and label, can you recognize the product you want to buy and use? Without it, do you even spend the money on the product itself? So, can you imagine what the world would be without the design? I would not think so, because we have already been used to being part of our daily lives as it benefits us more than what I just talked about and acknowledge it unconsciously in our mind. So, can you live without design? Now then, I will pass on to Lucas to continue with this topic. Thank you.
I'm Tu Chijian and my student number is B0946. Now I'm gonna talk about the influence of design about fashion brand logos. The design of fashion brand logo is a very important element to become a successful brand in the future, such as the color, element, shape, and font. It generates feelings, build up connection with others, and change consumer behavior unconsciously. So now let me show you some example. Prada is a luxury brand founded in Italy, and in the beginning of the brand history, they only serve the royal family in Italy. So Prada got the right to include royal element design into their logo. As you can see, the design elements make Prada logos feel luxurious, are the royal elements, bold fonts, and elegant shape. Second, I'm going to talk a little bit about Versace. Versace Medusa logo feels full of noble and mystery. Thus, the spirit of Medusa made a connection between the brand and the consumer. When people wearing Versace clothing, people wanted to feel themselves are unique and exclusive. That's why people buying luxury product. All this brand logo, all this brand image make them feel exclusive and different with others. Last one, I'm gonna show to you a streetwear fashion brand called Off-White. Off-White has no doubt one of the most recognizable brand in the fashion field because of their simplicity, streetful and youthful logo design. That's why Off-White significant logos prints are so attractive in the young market and representative of the brand identity as well. As you can see, their logos give a very strong rebellious feeling. Before we go to the next point, I'm going to say about logo design can actually change people behavior and change people mind. Also correct feeling to others. That's why you can see luxury brand got luxury design, and then streetwear brand they got streetwear street design, and different kind of brand they got different kind of type of design. Feminine style, luxury style, or mass market style is all different, and all the design have to create appropriate to their brand identity.
Design have always an impact on each of us, but most of us did not realize it. Look at the smartphone you have. Can you imagine a world without it? That will be a tough world, right? From airplane to smartphone, all these design have made important contributions to human development. Let's bring out an example that relates to our daily life. If you judge a book by its cover, that means that your decisions is affected by the designer. We always say don't judge a book by its cover, but only the good cover design can attract people and make them buy the book. And this is the job of design, using psychology and visual elements to play with your mind. This makes design have the power to persuade people to make decisions. And design also a communication. That means design can bring message to people. Let's look at this flag. The Black Bohemian flag, often displayed during the Hong Kong protests. It was created by the Hong Kong protesters as a sign of fighting. It has many versions, and the version I show here is the most latest and popular one. It's designed based on the original Hong Kong flag by changing the red background to black to represent resistance, and the wider petals represent Hong Kong is falling. They also removed the star in the petals that symbolize the People's Republic of China, and the blood stain is added after someone died in the protest. Hong Kong police consider the flag violate the law. Whoever with this flag will be arrested, but they were not afraid. And for the next picture, this is an embrygram, a calligraphic design with 2 or more words. You can see the words Hong Kong in vertical and the word chill out in the horizontal. This design is from Taiwan designer Ma Sai-kiao. When he saw Hong Kong people stand on the street and fight for the freedom, and that's not easy. As a designer, he wanted to chill them out, so he want to use the direct and simple way. So of this, he used the embrygram design, because embrygram always give people surprise and more thinking. The purpose of these 2 designs are to spread message and build consensual. And Ma Sai-kiao also say, design should exist to improve and help the society, giving the society the opportunity to go better. In the end, these 2 designs fulfill their purpose. Everyone over the world know this protest, and some of the country even giving their support, and that include our country, Malaysia. Their appearance encourage the Hong Kong protester. You can see in each protest that some people rush forward holding the flag print with this design, not afraid of the harm of tear gas and also the water cannons. Some people even tattoo it on their bodies to remember this protest forever.
Hello, my name is Claire and I'm from Graphic Design Year 1. So I will continue to talk about the examples of the impact of design. So the third example that I am going to talk about is the I Want You for US Army poster in 1916. In 1916, this poster was created by an American artist called James Montgomery Flagg, with the famous figure of Uncle Sam pointing his finger to the audience, as this poster is a call to World War I. Between 1917 and 1918, this poster was printed over 4 million copies by the US government. Flagg's Uncle Sam was so popular that he saw actions in wars to come, representing the whole of American military might and rights. Flagg's Uncle Sam is representative of a propaganda strategy that took the world by storm after World War I. Focusing on the individual in art but also in politics was about the rage and got people's attention in an increasingly busy world. Moving on is the fourth and also the last example that I am going to talk about is the We Can Do It poster in 1943. We Can Do It is an American World War II wartime poster produced by J. Howard Miller in 1943. The original meaning for this poster was to control employees and to discourage labor unrest. So during that time, it was World War II, and US government encouraged female workers to work in factories in order to produce more goods and weapons for the US soldiers. So this poster was actually meant to encourage female workers to work harder. However, this poster was rediscovered again in 1980s and the meaning was shifted. This time, feminists used this poster as the meaning of feminism, as the we was understood to mean we women, uniting all women in a sisterhood fighting against gender inequality. Until today, in 21st century, this poster was still seen as a powerful image of feminism. The famous singer Beyoncé has posted it on Instagram. Hillary Clinton used it in her presidential campaigns, and a host of consumer goods, from coffee mugs to magnets, are plastered with Miller's version of this poster. All use it to send a message of female empowerment. So moving on to the conclusion, design is something we often take for granted in our life, but sometimes we need to take our time to think about it. We have to pay a little more attention to design in our everyday environment from now on, to look beyond the functionality and to see how the different elements come together to create the meaning. To see more beauty in our day-to-day life and appreciate how they come together. As a designer, we can always use our power of design to convey messages and to change the world, because we designers aren't just design for the sake of beauty, but we are also activists, and I believe that we can use our power of design to change the world. And that's all for our presentation. Thank you.